if you scroll down media, everybody got a different understanding to them of what Labor Day is.
Of what it is, right?
Right.
My bad, people trying to watch this on YouTube.
Right. And trying to figure out which one is actually the real definition of what Labor Day is.
Right.
Is I don't know.
Wait. Hold on a second.
I don't know what the real definition of Labor Day is.
What is Labor Day?
You know what I mean? So
what the hell did I just spell? Labor Day. What is Labor Day?
Is it a holiday of women having babies?
That's what it is. It's a public holiday, a day of festivities held in honor of working people in the U.S. and Canada on the first day in September, and many other countries on May 1st.
Oh, so it's a shared holiday with Canada.
Yeah. Why do Americans celebrate it? Right?
Hey, Canada.
The holiday is a creation of the labor movement and is dedicated to the social and economic achievements of American workers. So it's a national tribute to the contributions workers have made to the strength, prosperity, and well-being of our country.
Oh, so it's the black people who built this country.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
On the back of our labor on the back of us.
Yeah, on the back of our backs. How's the history behind it? All right, so they evolved out of decades of tensions between workers and unions on one side and state security forces and employers on the other. During the last 2 decades of the 1800s, workers carried out some 37,000 strikes in the U.S. Between 1870 and 1914, up to 800 American workers were killed during strikes, almost entirely by state security forces or the military.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this? Let me get this straight. So is it the people against the union, or the union and people together against the government regulations?
The union and the people have always been together. Union and workers have always been together. Right. There hasn't really been people have this horrible understanding and horrible idea of what the union is, especially if you're not in the union, right? So
the union is a good thing.
Oh, hell yeah, the union is a good thing. The union makes people don't like the union because it forces employers to do what they're supposed to do, right? And then employers give out this crappy idea, right? When they talk about unions, they're just like, oh, they're making us have to lay off people because they want these strikers want more money. So blah, blah. It's like no. If you would pay these people a livable wage in the first place, there wouldn't be a strike, right?
Right.
So that's what that shit's about, man.
Yeah, because you can't get a competitive wage if the union wasn't there, because then employers would be doing what they want to give you.
They do whatever you want, man. Right. You know how hard it is to get fired if you're in a union?
Yeah.
Man, you got to do some dumb things to get hired when you get fired when you're in a union.
Which is bad things too. You know what I mean? Because then, you got some bogus cats who are protected by the union.
I was getting a job. I had this job. I had this I was in this orientation for this job a few years ago. And one of the first things they said was, we are a union-free workplace and we would like to stay that way. And kind of eyeballed everybody at the table and shit.
You know why that is, right?
But nobody said nothing. I was the only person. I looked up and I started laughing so hard. I was like, and no one understood why I was laughing. They were like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Are you serious?" Now what she just said to us.
Well, because you know why a lot of employers do that, right?
Why?
Because if one person invite the union there, they have to let them in.
No, you need a petition. Yeah, I looked this up because when I was in the healthcare field, I wanted to create like a union for caregivers, a caregivers union. I was looking into it because I was tired of the way that the administration and the job was treating us, and I was like, well, let me look into doing this shit. And you need to have most of the workforce on board with it for that to happen.
If one person invite the union, what they do, they stand in your parking lot and they talk to everybody at work, at leaving hours.
Yeah, and
coming in, and 9 times 10, a lot of people be like, "Job can't see me out here," and then everybody starts signing this petition.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is one person to get it started.
Well, yeah. I mean, kind of. I mean, hold on, let's see. Because I what I remember, because it was a long time ago when I looked it up, because I was really fed up and I was like, I'm just gonna start a union because I'm tired of one, working for low wages. I'm tired of one, two, not having health insurance and stuff like that,
right.
Not having profit sharing. And this company's making, and I know how much they made, how much they made a week. I knew how much they make, and it was insane, right? Because they were taking care of human beings and they were getting paid not only by the state, but they were also getting paid privately. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they were making a shit ton of money and they had low overhead because they were paying us crap. Right, and they owned all their properties. So I was like, dude, fuck this, man.
Right.
You motherfuckers need to pay us, man. I'm tired of that shit.
And that's the thing, one person ain't gonna do it. But one person can get the ball rolling. Because like I said, because once the union is notified, you can tell them anything. Hey, man, we need the union. Oh, shit, we can get in the door over there? Yeah, they're going to be in the parking lot. They're going to be in the parking lot with papers and talking to any and everybody they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if they get their foothold in that door, woo, companies hate that.
Yeah.
Companies hate that. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I guess what you got to do is seek help of umbrella organizations such as like the American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations, the AFL-CIO. Everyone knows what that is, right?
Right.
Come on now.
And then, you figure like, because a lot of employers, dude, they do not want to treat employees fair.
Yeah.
They do not. You know what I mean? It's cutting into their profit. Let's be real about it. It's cutting into their profit.
Oh, yeah. Well, because it's pretty much people who take money from them who are telling them how to spend their money, pretty much, right? Like it's workers, because
I like the union.
Unfortunately, we're expendable. To most employers out there, we're expendable.
Yeah,
and that's what I do.
Revolving door type stuff.
I've had this discussion with so many people, like especially these kids I work with. Man, it's like, do you really, like, what's up with your loyalty to this place? You know what I mean? Like the loyalty that people have for their places of work, when their places of work could give two shits about them, it's mind blowing to me. I'm just like, who do you think, like, these people don't care about you? Like, if you really were to just like disappear one day, do you think they would give a shit about where you're at or anything? No, you're just a place you're just a person who's helping production.
Right. And don't get me wrong, I understand why.
And if you're not there, they'll replace you with someone else who will do it.
I understand why some people are loyal. Because
they explain it to me, because I have no idea.
Because some people are just trying to move up that ladder to get a better and cozier position at that company. You know what I mean? So I understand.
Well, that makes sense.
I understand why some people show their loyalty out to get. Don't get me wrong, man. When it comes down, you can move up that ladder. But when corporate one decides to make that move, they're not putting you into consideration.
Okay, here goes another thing, right? Is the fear and like. Like the okay, so when I started this job, they were talking about the owners of the company like they were these demigods, right?
Right.
Like these all-powerful beings that you better not cross. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when they're in the building because everybody, and I'm just like, why? Why are you, like, all they are human beings just like me and you. That's all these people are human beings just like me and you who happen to own a business that is making a lot of money. Like, who are they differently than you? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And and employers perpetuate that stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
They know it works.
It's insane.
I mean? So they do it on purpose.
And it's like, oh, you can't question dude. Like, the first week I was there, I was like, I'm gonna snap on the president of this company in a second here, because this dude. All right, tell me if this isn't messed up, right? This is my idea of it, right? I was doing something, and while I was doing this one thing, I sat down to do it, right? It didn't cut into the production of it, right? I was still, whether I was standing or sitting, the amount of time it took me to do this one job would still be the same amount of time it would take me to do this job, right? It didn't matter, right? So, and then I was told to get up and stand up. And I said, why? All right? If it's because you want me to, you can go fuck yourself right now. But if it's like, oh, because you work faster standing up and this job needs to get done quicker, well, then prove it to me. I'll sit here, do this job. You stand and do the job. And we'll see how long it takes you to get it done compared to how long it takes me to get it done, right? And if it's the same amount of time, then get the fuck out of my face with that shit, right? So sometimes they just want to do things just because they want to do things.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, in the position I'm in, I got a different outlook on it.
Right, because you first of all, you work in a different job than me, right? Let me tell you what I was doing, okay?
Well, I'm management though, so you know what I mean?
Well, I was management too, and I was the same. I was never that way, which I never understood that shit, right? And it comes down in my mind, it comes down to power, right?
TJ, what it do?
And power corrupts absolutely, even if it's a little tiny bit of power and it's a little tiny bit of corruption, such as I can make them do what I want them to do at the time I want them to do it. There should be no reason behind it. It's just because I can. It's
actually a little bit more than that.
All right, tell me why then.
You know what I mean? Because
tell me why, manager.
Wow, ain't that about something? But no, seriously though, the mathematics behind it is, you know what I mean? Like, one person sit down,
right.
next it's going to be, oh, he can get away with it. Let me sit down.
See, that mindset, that thought pattern right there. He can get away with it.
That's reality.
He can get away with it. Like that whole thing is just like.
But no, that's the reality.
Get away with it, God, I'm a grown ass man. If I want to sit down while I'm doing something, I can sit down when I'm doing something.
See, and you're going on the personal aspect of it. When the management is looking at it, okay, if we get one person out, then tomorrow it's 3. The next day it's 4. The next day, by the end of the week, we have 15 people just sitting down doing work.
For the job that I was doing, if everybody was to sit down and do that job, it would be just fine. Now for another job, I wouldn't sit down. Why? Because I know it wouldn't help my production.
But as far as management, they should be able to regulate. Okay, look, man, look, and it's usually in your application. Where you get, man, can you do 8 hours of standing up? If so, because that's what we require, is you to stand at this job, not sit down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and you know, at every job, you got the people that want to, hey, man, if I can take it easy, I'm going to take it easy. You know what I mean? And the key for any job employer is to maximize its profit by the end of the day. You know what I mean? So
you guys are looking and listening to a company man right now. Go ahead, keep talking.
So you got people who want to sit down. You're not maximizing that at all. So it's like, look, this is how we run it here at this plant here.
But how
everybody stands up for this amount of hours.
Okay, so like I said, right? Like I said, with the job that I was doing at the time, my production would not have been hurt by me sitting down. It wasn't.
Right, and they're not going to be going off your personal production per se, as opposed to, again, they're looking at the whole picture of, and we allow him to do this, everybody's going to want to do this.
On that job, why not? Let everybody do it then.
No,
because if I'm on the line and I'm doing line work, right? If I'm doing assembly work on the line,
they're not going by job specific. They're going by, this is a job regardless of what you're doing, what individualistic job you're doing. Your job is the whole day to them. And no matter what job you're doing, you should be standing up.
I think it all comes down to, because I said so.
Right.
See, that's what and to that in my mind is, no, homie, that don't fly with me.
No, not a supervisor.
Just because I said so shit doesn't fly with me.
See, now, if you go down the wrong of management, the owners and the plant managers and stuff like that, they may see it one way. Now, the supervisor may say, you know what, man, him sitting down really ain't going to hurt this job. Go ahead. But he still got to answer to the upper. You know what I mean? So when the big wigs walk through, to them, nobody should be ever sitting down. Because to them, all they see is dollar signs, and sitting down to them is not equating money. You catch what I'm saying? I ain't saying they're right. What I'm saying is, looking at it through their eyes, they're not equating anybody leaning down, leaning on something, sitting down, or whatever. It doesn't equate to money. Now, you go down that rung, the plant manager say, you know what, man, I don't see it either. But then you get down to that supervisor who's on the floor with the people. He said, yeah, you know what? That job really don't need to be standing up. You can sit down. Yeah, same work, getting out. Don't matter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the further you get down to the employee, it's going to be a difference. It's a cut and dry line of how people see work. And it's either going to be from the supervisor down or from the supervisor up. But it's a dead line right there. It's clear and cut.
Yeah. So I guess what I see is people not questioning authority, right? And that's how we get into the places.
You want to bring that back up so I can see if they
that we're stuck in now. I
love comments,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of why we're in a place we're in now, and the ethic of work that Americans have, the culture of work that Americans have,
I know
are the way it is now, is because nobody sits there and goes.
Nobody better not question me like you did.
But why?
Because that's bullshit. Because
why is it bullshit?
Because to get a job where I'm at, in a lot of different places, the application speaks for itself. If I as a supervisor, if I come around and say, hey, look, man, I don't need you sitting around today. I need you to stand up and do this job here. And you do it and show me the difference. Oh, yeah, I'm going to show you the difference. See that door right there? The difference is I can tell you to get out of it.
Yeah. What up, Chris?
In your job. Because understand one thing, you work here, you got to respect the fact that I am the supervisor. If I ask you to do something that's not detrimental to you per se.
No. See that whole First of all, you don't ask anybody to do anything, and then you know that's true, right? As a supervisor, supervisors don't ask people to do anything. What they do is they tell people to do anything, to do what they want them to do, right? And that's the part where I start getting upset, right? When I was a supervisor, I never told people what to do. What I would do is ask them and say, "Hey, this needs to get done. Can you go do that for me?" That's what I would say. I wouldn't say, "Go do this right now." I would never say that shit. Why? Because I respect them as human beings and as individuals, right? Well, that's the difference, and I think that's where management and supervisory positions have gone astray. Is that they get this power and
supervisor asks, "Look, we got a job to do. But before the employees even make it to work, we're going down what we need to get done for the day."
Right.
So we know what we need to get done. We know the employees that we have, and we try to put the best ones in the best position to succeed.
Right.
So when by the time y'all even hit the floor,
there you go, Chris. Attitude reflects leadership, man.
But by the time y'all hit the floor, management already got a game plan. Now the game plan is to get y'all to make sure y'all get this taken care of within the course of either an 8-hour, 10-hour, or 12-hour shift. Now for me to say, okay, look. Here goes the game plan for the day, ladies and gentlemen. We're running line X through Z. Such and such, you on this line, this line, this line. Now, for persons who not new to this job, should know what it entails when I put them on this line. For them to go outside the guidelines and say, "Well, today I feel like sitting down." Well, no, that's not how we run it, and you knew this from get-go.
Well, see, now you're taking what I said and construing it completely differently.
No, because
I mean, you are, though.
No, because like one day you come in there and say, "You know what? One day this job ain't really that hard. I can sit down and doing it."
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. You see, you weren't listening to what I was saying. What I was saying was the job that I was doing at the time didn't require me to stand up. Matter of fact, it was easier to get the job done and more productive to get the job done if I was sitting down. And then I said, but if I was on a different job, like on the line assembling something, then there would be no way I would think, "Oh, I need to sit down." And by the way, the job that you supervise over is 100% different than the job that I do.
See, and don't get into it about what kind of job we're going to.
All right. So you're doing what everybody does, is you're generalizing.
No, what I'm doing is this. You said you're at a job.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do.
Okay.
These people out there don't know what you do.
Right.
They just know this job.
I'm in assembly, in case you guys want to know.
Let me finish. Because this job you've been at,
right,
been here way years before you got there, right?
Right.
So they've been running it one kind of way for years before you got there, right?
Right, and it's the right way,
So this one day you say,
so it's got to be the right way.
So this one day you sit here and say,
all right,
this job doesn't deem me to stand up. So I'm going to sit down and do it. If I was on the same line, of course I might do it a little different, but that ain't in question. The question is the day in particular you chose to sit down to do the job. Now, I'm equating that to my job where if somebody came on at one of my places, regardless if it's a line or not, and said, "You know what? Because this job was in existence before I got there, before that person got there, and they've been running this job this way since then." Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying they've been running this way so people come in the door knowing this is how they run it. Then they say, there's one person say today, "You know what? This job doesn't deem me to stand up." So he sat down. Now, maybe the supervisor walked past and said, "You know what? It don't really hurt none that he's sitting down. Keep on going." Maybe the supervisor say, "You know what? Hey, look, man, for whatever reason, I'm going to have to ask you to stand up while you do this job." Whatever reason. Now, as a person being in a supervisor position, and then a person who's not in that, for me to buck at that dude, like, "Man, screw you, dog. I'm doing this." That's grounds for termination out the gate. Out the gate. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, and don't get me wrong, it could be, I'm not putting right or wrong on this. I'm just saying it could be deemed a job that could be done sitting down. I don't know. It could be. It'd be on the supervisor to look at it. But for somebody to, if you question about it, if a person say, "Well, why are you sitting down, man?" and then you go bucky about it, oh yeah, supervisor's on his right to do what he need to do after that. It's a right. You just can't. The thing now, what I have a problem with is I'm here to work. I read before I signed this little employment contract with them, which is the application. I read fully everything. This is what they need of me to do every day. One of the things that was a main question: can you stand and lift for 8 hours straight? because that's what we require. Nowhere in there does it says, can you sit for 8 hours and read a book for 8 hours? That ain't what we require. We require you to stand. So, okay, I knew this coming in the door. Then once I got in the door, if I'm new and never done this before, I'll probably go through a little training. And nowhere in the training did they say, yeah, man, you cool. You can sit down whenever you feel like it, whatever job you feel like it. No, this is a fast-paced place. We just like to keep everybody standing. And they ain't gonna probably go into details of why they like to keep everybody standing. But if you're in management, they let us know some of the reasons why they do certain things a certain way. But for me to sit here, go through all that, and then one day say, you know what, and it's on my right to do this. Hey, man, this demon, let me sit down. Okay, cool. I could keep up. Boom, 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 boom. And then the management come talk to me. Hey, Emil, we need you to stand up. Hey, you know what? Okay, cool. You got it. If you ask me why I'm sitting down, because I could keep doing this job the same pace, you know what I mean? And it's actually a little easier. It helps the job out a little bit. I can explain it. I can't go never in my mind without Phantom to go, hey, man, if you could do this better than me, you sit your ass right here and do it better than me. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
So what you're stuck on is the fact that I talked back to my boss.
Somewhat, yeah. Somewhat, yeah. Somewhat, yeah.
All right, now we're down to brass tacks. All right. So that was the original reason why I brought this up, is because the culture of work in this country has been, you do what the supervisor says without question. That's it. And you being a supervisor, I'm pretty sure you get people who you've been tainted by the pool, right?
No.
Okay.
Because it's a way to question. It's like a supervisor.
Right, yes. Well, just like what Amy says, you can question the authority without being an asshole.
Exactly.
Now, I was not being an asshole. All I said was why.
No. Explain how you talk to him again.
I said why. He said, stand up to do the job. I said, why? That's what I said. I said, why? Because it doesn't take away from my production, so I need to know why I need to stand up.
Okay.
So how is that me being an asshole?
Oh, because in a public setting, well, listen.
Okay, go ahead. Explain it to me.
And this is from years of experience as not being a supervisor. The chain of command from the owner on down, all the way down to the regular employee, it's a chain of command.
Right.
Now, in a job setting, it's not always do what they say, because a lot of jobs understand that people on the floor know more about the job than the people who supervise over the job. So a supervisor will come out there and say, look, man, 9 times 10, when your supervisor come out there and ask you to do something, it's because somebody higher up than him told him to come out and talk to you. So now when this person come out and talk to you, be like, hey, man, look, I need y'all to do this. They never come out and say, hey, man, do this. Hey, man, I need y'all to do this, man. Some supervisors may be cool enough to even let you know that, hey, I got sent out here to let y'all know. Don't kill the messenger type shit. But a lot of times supervisors come out there and say, hey, look, man, hey, I need y'all to stand up and do this job. I need you to clean up while you're doing this job. When you got free time, don't just stand there leaning around, grab a broom or something. That's how it usually go down. And then for a person to say, in front of everybody else, why? You see, you got to understand the way it's taken by everybody that's around you. So
why would you think I say it like that?
No,
why would you even think I would do that?
No. Any which way you would say that in front of.
So saying why, questioning authority in front of other employees is a no to you?
No. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's not a no because they need to know the answer to that too. That's my thought. That's my thought process. It's that they're all doing the same thing. If you're telling all of us to do something and I ask you why, you tell all of us why, goddammit. No. You are accountable to us just as much as we are accountable to you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just because you make more than me and you have a higher you're in the supervisor level does not mean you're worth more than me. That's what that means, right? And you are 100% accountable to me as my boss, as I am to you as your employee. And if I have a question about my job and the performance that you're telling me I'm not doing correctly, and you're telling everybody else around me the same thing, and I ask you why, you best goddamn believe I'm going to ask you in front of everybody you just told to do this shit too. I'm not going to sit there like a little and take you to the side and be like, hey, you remember earlier? I'm going to be like, hey, we're all standing here right now. Can you explain to us why you feel the need for us to do this way? Explain to all of us. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no, I'm not going to sit there and just be like, all right, boss, I'm good with it. Don't worry about it. No, fuck all that, man. It's not ever going to happen. I'm not the dude. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the brass tacks I'm talking about is the culture of work in this environment that we are in called America. People are more willing to just do instead and not question, right? They just are just like, yes, because you make more money than me. Because they're scared of those people. And it's like, why are you scared of these individuals?
Okay. Now, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to go back a little bit and break it down.
All right.
Because, you know, that's a good rant. I give it to you. That's a good rant.
So Emmy says the problem is supervisors are taking the power they have and letting it get to their head. They come with an attitude and not asking nicely.
Some do.
Most do.
No, some do.
Most. I have never really met a supervisor, especially in the manufacturing setting, who did not allow the power to get to their head.
I know this. On any given day, usually most jobs do it this way. All right? Most jobs do it this way. Especially in the factory setting. I don't know too much about everything else, but factory setting, I know most jobs go in this fashion. All right? Any given day, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday on overtime. Again, these jobs that are being performed have been performed long before you got there, so a lot of bugs were worked out. But in the same token, too, we have highly intelligent individuals.
I don't know why you keep saying that.
No. Let me finish.
But that doesn't mean
anything.
Yes,
they do, because I'm going to get to it.
Just because they've done the job for years before me doesn't mean they're doing it the right way.
See, now,
or it doesn't mean that someone didn't come along and
that's where you didn't get it because you interrupted. Now let me get to it.
Wow, man. I let you talk for like almost 10 straight minutes without saying anything to you.
You just been talking.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Like I was saying,
go ahead.
This job that's been in existence before you even thought about getting hired there.
Yeah.
That's been doing it a certain way. Although they have highly intelligent people coming and going, which they automatically know and which they look for to streamline some of these jobs sometimes. And they know it's going to be like, hey, you know what? Somebody who's really intelligent is going to say, you know what? It's a better way to do this job. They are fully aware of this. But sometimes they say, you know what? This is how we want this job done. As a supervisor, you should be able to come out and intelligently express that to your employees for that specific job. A person that's coming out there and they let the power go to their head, of course, they should have a problem. But reality is this. If that person has went that far to where power is over them, it went to their head like that, no questions directed at him is going to take effect. You need to go around that person. I mean, go to a higher up. On the floor, you
So what if it's in my situation where it's the president then?
On the floor.
So who do you go to then?
On the floor, let me finish what I'm going first. Then I get to that.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, guys.
But on the floor though, as part, I'm talking about, you got to understand, man.
Yeah.
The supervisor is the lead for the floor. Once he lose respect of those people on the floor, it's a wrap for him. He might as well quit. It's a wash. As an employee, you should say, you know what, man? As part of my growth here in the plant, I need to know how to maneuver intelligently with this plant. I don't have to kiss nobody's ass, but I need to know how to maneuver. And for me to maneuver is, hey, look, man, look. Hey, supervisor, come here a minute. Let me show you something. This is what I found out about this job here. This may be able to help this job. It's a decorum to how you communicate on any job platform. There's a decorum to it. A lot of times, if you're in a social setting and you start questioning stuff in front of people, supervisors can take it wrong. Plant managers can take it wrong. Anybody can take it wrong. Now it's a bullseye on you. Like I say, it's a correct way to do everything. And that doesn't mean you have to kiss ass. Well, what I'm seeing nowadays is a lot of young people getting into the workforce don't know that decorum, don't have that decorum. They don't have it. They don't understand it. They have never seen it in action. So what they do is figuring, hey, it's just me asking the question. It's just me asking the question. It's innocent. It's me answering the question. When it actually is, dog, in a workplace setting, That ain't just asking a question. A lot more things are tied to it than you asking a question.
So here goes Amy's talking again. So if they have the information to show why standing works better than sitting, they should be able to show or tell the worker rather than say because I said so.
Yeah.
Lindsay said it correct. Workers usually have the best understanding as to how something works, especially since they have been doing it.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
You know, and you're correct. Like I said, if somebody come up to you and say, and they can't explain to you as a supervisor, they should come out there, not say, panic, get up.
What's up, Miguel?
They should never.
What's up, Miggy?
They should never come out there saying,
what up, D?
Pete, panic, get up, do this job.
Right.
They should come out there with the decorum of, look, I'm the leader of this group. Right. I need my group to follow me. So, hey, this is the reason why I need you to stand, bro.
I'm 100%. You know, okay. I don't know why are we having this? Bro, you were saying the exact same shit I'm saying. It just took you 25 minutes to get to it. You know that, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
What I'm saying.
No, because
my brain hurt so much.
I still don't feel that you got the right to question.
Bullshit! You have the right to question everything. Yes, you do.
No.
See, this is the problem, right? No, because they sign your paycheck. I think what it is that you motherfuckers are old as shit, and you're used to shit going a certain way while working, and you're not used to.
I think you motherfuckers are used to being this young generation is used to having
entitlements, right? Yeah, that's what you're gonna get to. You think you're entitled to blah blah blah. You goddamn right. I think I'm entitled to an answer if I ask you a fucking question, regardless of if you sign my paycheck or not.
No.
Get that bullshit out of here. See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's not it.
Come on. That's the culture that I'm talking about. He signs your paycheck, so you should do exactly. No.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I don't give two shits about that. That's the problem.
Okay, you can go on what he said. Good. What Emil said is, I believe you young people.
Why can't I go off on a rant for 25 minutes?
I believe you young people got a messed up way. Got a messed up way of talking. Y'all don't understand the ways of communication correctly. Is that it's a two-way thing to get an understanding.
I don't understand communication.
I truly don't believe that. I believe you cats y'all don't get decorum.
Really?
Y'all don't get the communication of decorum. Y'all don't get it. So the way I say things, and you just supposed to accept that and answer my question no matter how I give it to you. Oh, you got it messed up. Unless you come correctly, you won't get your answer you seeking.
So you think I walked up to the president of the company and was like,
after
he told me to get up, I was like, why?
No,
tell me why right now. Tell me why.
No, I don't.
Why I need to stand up, nigga? Tell me why I need to stand up.
I don't think you was that rude. I don't think you understood the fact that in certain settings,
in that he's the boss and I should do what he tells me to do.
Well, if you're gonna answer the question for me, ask the question and answer it. Let's go.
I'm just saying. You think that?
I never asked the question, so what are you talking about?
See, how come you get to do that? But if I you know what I'm saying? Like you get to act like that. But I'm the person who doesn't have communication skills, right?
Because that's bad communication skills.
How is that? How? How? Because you're doing the exact same shit. But when I do it to you, I have bad communication skills.
To have a conversation. To have a conversation. I'm not first of all, I'm not surmising a supposed question that you're finna ask and then answer it at the same time. I may disagree with what you're saying, and that's where it is, a disagreement. But what you do is you surmise what I'm fixing to ask,
all right,
and then answer it. Like, no, that wasn't even what I was going to ask. Like I say, I don't think you was rude in any manner of asking a question. That's not the problem of you asking the question.
Right.
I believe the problem is,
I think it's been time for about 10, 15 minutes already.
I believe you not understanding the setting you were in and how the decorum was supposed to go is the problem.
Hold on, we getting a phone call. Thank God. What's up, D? What's cracking, homie? Please help this shit out, homie.
What is going on, man?
What it do, D?
Break this shit up, fam. Break it up now. Go.
I see you folks got the Conor McGregor and fucking Floyd Mayweather going on there.
Yo.
You got to call in and be the ref and calm these guys down. So, I got a question.
Yeah. For who?
How you guys morning going, man? How y'all doing?
Going great, man. Going great, man.
Baby.
That's what I like to hear, man. Now, in other words, I'm trying to get you two cats off of that bullshit that y'all on, man. Y'all like to fight and shit, man. Calm that down. Seriously. Cool that shit out. Straight up, man. But
yeah.
I honestly just chimed in a minute ago. I started watching when you guys first started this morning, so I kind of missed what's going on. You know what I mean? So can you kind of fill me in real quick?
Yeah, I'll fill you in. My original point was the culture of work in America, right? And the fact that a lot of people just agree with whatever their supervisor, their manager, or whoever is above them say without questioning it. And I gave an example to how I question things, and then it kind of went off from there. Emil said that you shouldn't be rude to your supervisor, right? In front of other employees. Right, and I said I wasn't being rude to him.
We'll do it this way.
Okay, go ahead. Explain to him.
Explain to D.
Yeah.
Where you was going with it, and then I explained to D where I was going with it.
What do you mean explain to him where I was going with it? I was just explaining to him where I was going with it.
Now let me explain to him where I was going with it.
You see what I'm dealing with, D? Do you hear this?
No,
now?
It's simple because
there's no talking to this cat, man. He's just on it. All right, go.
You get the best understanding if you get the words that were from me, right? I think that would probably be the best way instead of getting it secondhand. But who knew, right? But
do you see this shit?
But my thought is this, D. Not saying that all supervisors or management of a job, no matter what job it is correct in their manners of how they do things. I said my thought is this: it's a decorum to how for employees to get done what they need to get done and get an understanding what their manners. It's a decorum of how you do things. That's where I was going with it. It's a decorum, not meaning that somebody kissing ass or something. It's a decorum of how you do things. Period.
Yeah, that's with anything. I can agree with that.
And that's all I'm saying.
There has to be some type of, I don't know, respect, I guess. You know what I mean? In one way, shape, or form. And I'm probably the worst person to be talking about this subject because I snap off on my supervisors and shit. Like, but I understand where, like, after because it's more of a misunderstanding. Right. And then once we get pulled to the side, and everybody has, cooler heads and prevailed or whatever you want to say. Right. Then we get an opportunity to speak and get an understanding from each other. But I can see how some of my actions, I'm just looking at it from my perspective, and some of the things that I went through, I can see how it would be to stand up this supervisor or this person of authority or whatever how you want to put it. You know what I mean? So most of the time, it's just like you guys right now. Y'all saying the same damn thing, just a different perspective on it.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? Y'all saying pretty much the same thing, just a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
So one's not saying it the way that the other one's gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know, man. It get kind of twisted.
Right. I think in the subtleties. I think in the subtleties of what we're both saying, it is a difference when it comes down to, because we're in agreement where on the supervisor side, it should be some sense of intelligence of how I need to come out there and speak to my fellow employees.
Yeah, but how many times do you have supervisors that actually do that and know how to do that?
Right.
They don't even have that.
Right, and that's not in question. That's not in question. Because we all know reality is we got a lot of BS supervisors out there.
They got a lot of dummies in these spots that don't need to be there.
Right.
Donald Trump.
Right. But in the same token, and being honest, we got a lot of idiots that ain't supervisors. That's just regular employees who don't know how to relate. My thing is this, is to me is again, it's decorum with me. I think that's where the subtle differences come in at, where if I need to question something, first off, I need to understand where I'm at, what I'm doing, and the lay of the land, so I know how to go about getting what I need addressed. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that, bro?
What I mean by that is, can I just run in the supervisor room, slam the door open, and say what I want to say? No, I can't. Can I question him on the floor in front of everybody? No, I can't.
Yeah, you should be able to.
No. I should be able to, if he's on the floor with me and I got a question for him, I should know how to relate it to it, or ask this question to where it doesn't seem like I'm questioning his authority on the floor.
Hey, I get it.
But Emil.
But check this out real quick, man. Hey, Emil, you and I have worked together before.
Yes.
And you know how I get down, man. Like, it don't have to be me the one that's in being done wrong or however you want to say it. I would step up and intervene because a lot of people don't say what they have to say. Now, there was this one instance, and I get it. I do get it, trust me. But there's certain times where things are going wrong and someone can get hurt. And that's when, you know what I mean? This person may not say anything, but I would step in. One instance, the supervisor and the plant manager was standing here talking to this guy, and he's doing something that was very unsafe, something that they preach about in every meeting that we have. I'm the one that walked up and stepped in. Like, I'm the one that said, no, shut this whole line down. You ain't got to do nothing. You don't have to do this, man. This is very unsafe. And this is now that looked like I was upstanding or standing up or up, whatever however you want to put it, upstanding the supervisor and the plant manager. But no, in reality, I was just doing what was right. You get what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to step over on your toes or anything, but if you're not going to do your job, which a lot of people are not equipped to do the job that they're in these positions for, that's the first thing.
And see, D, my point was this. You should be able to question your supervisor in front of other employees if what he's telling you to do affects these employees also.
Right.
Right. Do you agree with me or you disagree with me?
Emil's been there before when I've done that, and it didn't turn out well.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
Well, no.
But I'm saying like
that. It didn't turn out well at all. This
is
what I'm saying, bro. It didn't turn out well at all.
Right.
And now, was I wrong? No, not at all.
No.
Because the lady, the plant manager came to me later and was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? At first, she tried to intimidate me, but I'm like, no, I'm not backing down from what I said in front of other people. I'm going to say the same thing to you one-on-one. But it looked like it appeared that I was trying to make her look bad. Within in a leadership role, if you got one person, come on now. You on the shift, or what they call this shit, what they call it when someone uprises, one person stand up and say something, then you got two or three different, you're going to have it. You have to nip it in the butt. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not in this position or that place anymore. Okay. Because I stood up.
Okay, now let me do a little clarifying. Just so my words don't get misconstrued with silliness. All right? I was present for when you did that, D. And by all accounts, you were 100% correct for doing so, because a person could have been injured.
Exactly.
Understood. And that's when you're supposed to. That's exactly when you're supposed to. As opposed to, I just feel like sitting down today, D. Like, and no, I'm gonna bring
end result.
And I'm not throwing a slug. I'm not throwing a slug at panic. What I'm saying is,
we're done with this conversation.
I'm throwing.
I'm not having this conversation anymore,
I'm throwing an example, like when we worked at our gig together, right?
We're completely done.
We knew a lady who every chance she got, what did I tell you, D, what she was doing one day? Laying on the floor, hiding behind a machine.
Right.
Peeking around it to see if I was looking at her.
Yeah.
If I come to the line and say, excuse me, lady, I can't have you laying on the floor over there, sitting down or whatnot. I need you to do work. For her to question.
Still had to do a job.
Wait, let me finish. For her to question me now, like I'm wrong for bringing this up to her. It's different from you saying, you know what, I'm going to stop this right here because this can jeopardize this person's life.
Right,
this can injure them.
That's one side, and then the other side of the whole.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm not just taking management side. What I'm saying is, on both sides, is validity to both sides. What I'm saying is, if you lack the knowledge to be able to understand decorum, it might be a problem. You know what I mean? And I'm saying a lot of people in the workforce, there's a lot of bullshit ass supervisors. There's a lot of bullshit employees. What I'm saying is, a lot of the people that don't make it in workforce, regardless of where you work at, is the ones who usually can't understand that it's a certain kind of decorum you need to have. You need to have a more than just a basic understanding of conversation or settings or whatever. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
I get it.
Right.
But there's two different spectrums on what.
Right.
What you guys are talking about. Y'all talking about the same thing, just from two different angles.
Exactly, and that's what I think it is. Like I said, to me, it's just a subtle differences because we're talking about the same thing. It's just I'm on this plane about this subject, and he's on a whole different plane. Like I said, I'm not saying he's wrong. He could be right. Are you supposed to question your supervisor? Yeah, I just think it's a way you do it.
No, man.
I think it's a way you do it.
Go ahead, man.
No, we're good, man. We're done with this conversation, man. This is just it's not worth getting into anymore, man. I just can't do it anymore. Besides, I gotta get the fuck out of here. All right, yo, guys. Yeah, all right, D, man. I'll holler at you, dude.
Much love.
All right, man.
Love, baby.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning into this chaos that we call getting it in the AM.
real life chaos.
All right, yo. Once again, please share this episode. Share the Facebook page. Share our YouTube page, the Shop FM Network. Go on Spreaker, iHeartRadio. You can find us there. The Shop FM. Instagram. I was gonna say IG and shit. Instagram, _shop_FM. Twitter.
Blow it up, y'all.
The Shop _1059. Please follow us, share us, let people know that we're crazy as hell.
Rate us. Don't forget to rate us.
And we talk crazy. We do crazy things, and we don't let up. All right, yo.
No doubt.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And we're getting out of here. Peace.
Y'all have a great one.
Happy Labor Day, bitches. Peace.
Shop
know that
FM
we're crazy
Network,
as hell.
your
Rate
generation's
us.
radio.
Don't forget to rate us.
And
The
we
Shop
talk
FM.
crazy. We do crazy things, and we don't let up. All right, yo.
No doubt.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's a good one. If you scroll down media,
Yeah.
everybody got a different understanding to them of what Labor Day is.
Of what it is, right?
Right.
My bad, people trying to watch us on YouTube.
Right. And trying to figure out which one is actually the real definition of what Labor Day is.
Right.
Is I don't know.
Wait. Hold on a second.
I don't know what the real definition of Labor Day is.
What is Labor Day?
You know what I mean? So
What the hell did I just spell? Labor Day. What is Labor
is
Day?
this a holiday of women having babies?
That's what it is. It's a public holiday, a day of festivities held in honor of working people in the U.S. and Canada on the first day in September, and many other countries on May 1st.
So it's a shared holiday with Canada.
Yeah. Why do Americans celebrate it? Right.
Hey, Canada.
The holiday is a creation of the labor movement and is dedicated to the social and economic achievements of American workers. So it's a national tribute to the contributions workers have made to the strength, prosperity, and well-being of our country.
Oh, so it's the black people who built this country.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
On the back of our
Laborers.
labor on the back of us.
Yeah, on the back of our backs. What's the history behind it? All right, so they evolved out of decades of tensions between workers and unions on one side and state security forces and employers on the other. During the last 2 decades of the 1800s, workers carried out some 37,000 strikes in the U.S. Between 1870 and 1914, up to 800 American workers were killed during strikes, almost entirely by state security forces or the military.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this? Let me get this straight. So is it the people against the union, or the union and people together against the government regulations?
The union and the people have always been together. Union and workers have always been together. Right. There hasn't really been people have this horrible understanding and horrible idea of what the union is, especially if you're not in the union, right? So
the union is a good thing.
Oh, hell yeah, the union is a good thing. The union makes people don't like the union because it forces employers to do what they're supposed to do, right? And then employers give out this crappy idea, right? When they talk about unions, they're just like, oh, they're making us have to lay off people because they want these strikers want more money. It's like no. If you would pay these people a livable wage in the first place, there wouldn't be a strike, right?
Right.
So that's what that shit's about, man.
Yeah, because you can't get a competitive wage if the union went there, because then employers would be doing what they want to give you.
They do whatever you want, man.
Right.
You know how hard it is to get fired if you're in a union?
Yeah.
Man, you got to do some fucked up things to get fired when you get fired when you're in a union.
Which is bad things too. You know what I mean? Because then